Okay, okay.
Alright, what's up guys? It's me. I'm done with all the giveaways, so no more giveaways. Congratulations to the people who won avatars, and Sapphire sucks because he's not here, but hopefully you'll get your alts relatively soon. I don't know. He's the one that deals with it. But we're going to do some replay casting of BMG versus Ogre in the Diamond Division round of 8. Of course, this game was played last weekend, and that means that we know what happens, but it's okay. We'll pretend like we don't and try to be as unbiased as possible. And joining, got Shortcan and Znawi, who are from Team Prime Icarus, which you might also remember because they were in Diamond for about 30 seconds before they got bounced. And
I feel Quincy, every time I get on the cast with you, it's like hate and hate and hate.
it's not
yeah,
you
we were there
specifically.
for like 30 seconds.
Every time anybody gets on the cast with me, it's hate and hate and hate. Because that's the only way I know how to express affection. It's by being mean to people. It's okay. But, I mean, you guys are doing pretty well, so I don't think you should be super upset about that. Looks like there's a very good chance you're going back to Diamond Division. Did lose to Reason, but it took 3 games, and now you have a second chance to beat Solaire Club, I believe, who is also facing you, and lose your back to semifinals in Gold Division. But, Jesus Christ, this game's going on really fast, so let's not talk about PI. Let's talk about BMG and Ogre. So, Ogre, not really the favorite here, I think, it's safe to say.
Well, BMG won last cycle, so it's like immediately everyone's just thinking about, oh yeah, they're gonna crush this team that just got to Diamond, you know?
Pretty much.
That's what people expect.
A team that recently got to Diamond, when they were in Diamond in Cycle 1, they didn't last very long. And in CIC, they had some iffy results. Although since then, they have significantly changed their lineup. You'll notice Horsebull and Masera have both shown up here. Horsebull is Nox, so this is half old Ogre and half Team Excellent. But it's obviously much, much better without Pew. You know, Pew's Pew. The hate is real. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Anyway, first couple of bans for the Legion side are Cthulhu and Gemini, actually. Removing a Nox hero. Hellwarring's going to take out Parasite and Swiftblade. That's going to lead them into Magmus, Tempest, Soul Stealer. So there's a little bit of AoE potential on this Legion team. Hellborn going to counter with Kraken, Rhapsody, and Ophelia. So all that damage is going to be perhaps mitigated by Rhapsody and Ophelia with some strong heals and damage mitigation. Second banning stage is Pharaoh, Bubbles, and Doctor for the Legion side, Madman, Keeper, and Prisoner for the Hellborn side. But I don't know, either of you feeling particularly interested in either of these drafts? Should identify yourselves as well, I guess. I'm Quincy. Shortcan is Shortcan.
Say something,
Yes, Shortcan is Shortcan.
You're supposed to say something so people know which voice is yours. Yes.
Something that stood out to me is the fact that I picked the Soul Stealer in the first 3 picks, especially when Kraken was already on the Hellborn side. Which Kraken is like a really good counter versus the Soul Stealer. As long as he gets the ultimate on top of Soul Stealer, he can't use his ultimate, simple as that, so a bit surprised by that.
And similar deal to Tempest, for that matter, as both those channeling ultis countered pretty damn hard by Kraken. And Ophelia, too, the Skeleton Kings.
Yeah, I know that they like to play Tempest a lot in BMG, and they are not really running it for the ultimate, I think. I think it's just for the strong push together with Soul Stealer in the early game.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're going to do that, you'd probably go for something like an Ophelia. I mean, I feel like the Tempest,
of course, you could do that as well.
Synergy is much better with Magmus Soul Stealer. I mean, like, they've got 4 huge team fight ults here. And I mean, Tempest is a solid pusher, but I'm not really sure he's the best, especially when Ophelia was still on the board. But that's fair.
Well, Tempest just has a lot of other things going for him as well. Of course, the ultimate, especially with the Soul Stealer. So, I mean, if they get the Wombo combo down, then there's not much that, like, a Puppet Master, for example, now being picked on the Hellborn side is going to do about it.
Right.
And, like, I know it's easy to count, like, they have good heroes to counter the Tempest ulti right now, but are they going to be in position to do so, or is Tempest going to get, like, a 2-man hole on the 2 heroes that have the most, like, the easiest cancel of the Tempest ulti? It all really depends on the positioning from the Hellborn side.
Right. and we'll see what they go for the last pick. I'd like to see something a little more gank-oriented. I mean, they do seem more or less entirely reliant on their ulti combos. Like, Magnus is a solid ganker, but that's more or less it. It's either they win team fights or they lose the game. And with a Puppet, with an Ophelia, and a Kraken, if they get picked off before a team fight starts, they could lose a team fight too. So, feels like they need something that's going to give them a little bit more map presence.
Geomancer, yay.
Yeah, that would work.
Yay! I mean,
No.
what heroes are left for the suicide lane? I mean, they could not. They could go Bensington, but to be honest, nobody likes Bensington. So.
Yeah. Well, we just saw Valk, and that worked pretty well. So, I don't know. I'd like to see Valk. I'm sorry. I have to say this because I've been yelling about how good Valk, Polywog, and Pyromancer have been for like a really long time, and so I felt really happy today because they're crushing.
Valk was picked up.
Valk, Pyro, and Poly were all played, and they all won. So.
Oh, Poly was played as well, didn't
Yeah, by
Magnus.
Nullstone in their series against Rexars. It was good times. But Tundra gonna be the
Yeah.
last pick, and I love that actually. In
For
this lineup.
ganking,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
great.
provide a lot of map vision, obviously, or map presence by the bird, and also a very strong counter push against Ophelia and Rhapsody in the early game.
Yeah.
And I also like the fact that like they picked a melee hero because Puppet Master is very good at locking down suicide heroes, like the Valkyrie, for example, that we mentioned. And I feel like just Valkyrie would have been locked down and killed by the Rhapsody Puppet Master over and over. But okay, what did I pick? Kinesis.
Sad. I really don't like Kinesis.
I feel like they lack initiation on the Hellborn team, but at the same time, like I think Kinesis is gonna do well versus Soulstealer. He should at least, I think.
I mean, he probably
Well-
shouldn't die.
I think they just lack team fight in general. Like they have
yeah.
very little lockdown. It's like when comparing it to the Legion side, it just looks like if the Wombo combo goes down, Ogre is not going to stand a chance. But it really also depends on the farm of Magnus in this middle. He should win against the Kraken because I'm assuming it's going to be a solo Kraken versus a Magnus Engineer, which is a killer lane, and even a dual mid of Kraken Rhapsody would suck against it because Kraken just automatically pushes the lane. So
Yeah, quick question: do you guys have no pauses activated, by the way?
We do.
yes.
All right, because then I need to write that down. Do you know the command for it?
Yeah.
Can you write it in Skype
Replay.
to me because I don't
Okay,
have it?
yeah.
How many times did we say this, Shuriken? Like 3?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I've never heard about it before. But okay,
Seriously?
Here we go. I like. I've probably written it sometimes. but
I'm sure you've cast with me before, so you've definitely used it.
yeah, it was once, and it was just one game, so maybe there were no pauses that game.
No, because I usually make sure people have it on before, just because I don't know if there are any. Anyway, point
Alright,
is,
I got it
now
now
he's
at least, but I
incompetent
need to catch
and
up to you guys. I
get rid
think.
of him. Alright, I'm at 8:27, 28, 29 on the replay, 30, 8:31, 32.
All right, I'm good. 8, 34, 35.
Yep, perfect.
Is
Yeah,
that-
that's perfect.
Yeah, you're great. Yeah, so can you
Tundra leveled his
well?
bird.
That's probably what he wants to do. I mean, that's honestly not the worst thing. I mean, we're going to be facing a pseudo tri-lane in the top lane. So, with the amount of lockdown that they've got between potentially an Ophelia with a Minotaur, a Skeleton King, plus Rhapsody, plus Puppet, that could be a dead Tundra if he doesn't see that game coming.
Yep. But I'm kind of like skeptical. Like he has nothing to get away with, and look at his items as well. Like,
the bird's dead.
is he going to pull with his bird? Is he going to pull with his bird? Answer me that. That's one thing I could see happening. But
I think he's gonna pull. I mean, we've seen BMG do this before, where they just like abandon the suicide lane, and
yeah, but they're abandoning
Uh.
the suicide lane with a Tundra who has bird. So
Yep.
that's gonna be great.
I don't know about that decision. This feels so weird. Is he gonna go and leech experience from Tempest? I guess that's one way to deal with it, but it's not optimal by any means. Where he's just gonna go farm the small camp with a Logger's Hatchet. Okay, it's a small camp.
that seems to be the plan. I mean, he didn't use all of his gold, so yeah, he's got some stuff. He's gonna stack the small camp and I guess help Tempest jungle or something. So is Engineer. We got 3 jungle heroes in the Legion team.
I'm super confused.
Yep.
Okay, he's going
Like,
bottom now.
Yep.
But what's he gonna do though? I mean, is he gonna pull the wave?
Yep.
I guess he is.
It's a single stack too, so that's not going to be all that. And he didn't even get it.
Oh my god.
Well,
Like,
this is
I even
interesting.
mentioned the fact that I liked the fact that they actually picked a melee hero, so Puppet Master's lockdown wouldn't matter that much. So I don't think there should be any problem for him being top. And on top of that, I mean, now when he's not, Rhapsody is free to move
Right.
towards the mid lane, and therefore they can win 2 lanes instead of
Right.
just 1.
And I mean, yeah, I actually like Rhapsody's rotation. I hope she goes bot, to be honest.
Yeah, that
Kraken
could be an option as well.
Kraken 2v1 is really, really strong. I don't think that having Rhapsody middle lane is going to do that much more for Kraken. But if Rhapsody can box out Soulstealer or force Engineer bot, that would be really, really good. And she will pick up an Invis rune. and head to the
BMG
bot
got
lane.
terrible lanes now because of this rotation.
Although I
They're
gotta
probably gonna
say,
get killer.
Yeah, Soulstealer going to be in a lot of trouble. Staccato stuns are still there. A couple more auto attacks from Rhapsody will do it. One more. Need the range. Not going to be enough. He's so close. Run. Run, Haxer. He's going to live.
300 movement speed on Rhapsody and on Kinesis and on Soulstealer, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah. They needed, I don't know, maybe they could have staggered that a little bit better with the slows from Kinesis' toss or something like that, but either way, it's going to force Haxer to use a health pot, and he's going to be low in regen now.
Demstrats really does not care about this dual lane mid. I mean, he's out leveling the Magnus, and to be honest, Engineer isn't really doing that much, and Magnus really should be more aggressive with the stun.
Yeah.
Is he gonna do it now? No, he's not. He's gonna keep farming and pushing the lane, actually, which is also something he should not do.
I mean, we've seen Krakens do this a fair bit, actually, where they're just like, alright, it's a 2v1. I prefer this. I'd rather just, you know, every so often I'll duck in with a splash, get a CS. For the most part, you can't kill me, because I'm playing kind of defensive, and I'm tanky as all hell with a charge, so... Like, they can't kill him, and he's sitting under his tower, so what are they going to do?
Not too sure. I almost feel like if you draft an engineer, I feel like you're a little bit dependent on that your opponents are actually going for that dual lane.
Yeah.
Or at least having a stunner somewhere else.
And
but
actually,
as it is
speaking
right
of Engineer, he's going to get charged back. Didn't get charged into the cliff, though, so isn't stunned, and Magnus Lobster will
he's
prevent
blocked!
that.
Oh my god, he was blocked! Magnus was sitting still, or he was standing still in between the Catman Champion and the Kraken for a second there.
That's bad, and they might actually die this Magnus anyway. When we're Slash could finish him up, but he'd Lava Surge through the trees, and he will be just fine. Engineer off to the side, continuing to try to do some damage, but not going to be enough. Mag, of course, does not have a bottle. Engineer has his bottle, but it's empty, so 4-minute rune. Up top,
There's a gank coming though,
yeah,
now in
and
mid lane.
Rhapsody's here. Will they get the Scottos? Yeah, they will. Charge forward, that should be a Bloodlust. Yep, Super KG gonna fall in the mid lane. And looks like Rhapsody might be in some trouble. Walks right into a turret, and NG should be able to get the counter kill. Yes, health pot used, but not nearly enough. As the stun finishes her off, so well played from Rap. Strong rotation, and no rewards from the bottom lane either. So no rune ward, and BMG probably would have really liked to have a rune ward there because they would have seen the illusion rune, and they would have seen the Rhapsody rotation.
Yeah,
And-
good movement by Rhapsody for sure.
One thing I would like to see from Ogre, though, is that Nox just starts pushing the lane.
Yeah.
Because, I
Might as well
mean,
kill the tower.
he has an Ophelia in the woods. If he manages to damage that top tower, which is now still at full health, he'll manage to just, you know, make sure that they're going to have that early tower lead. And that can help a lot for the rest of the team, especially this Kraken who won't have the best GPM, even though he did get Bloodlust and has 320 GPM. You know, a puppet with an early tower as well, that means either an early Whispering Helm or an early Shroud, and it's just going to spiral out of control.
I think
Now
there's a
looks-
risk that Tundra actually picks up a port and TPs to the top lane for getting some free experience in that case though.
Yeah,
that's true.
but
Looks like
at this
that might be
point,
what happens. Nope,
if
NG.
Tundra walks to top or buys a TP, he doesn't have boots yet. He does have the gold to buy boots, but I mean, so what if he gets XP? You get a tower out of it, and Tundra, I mean, he's useless as it is right now.
Yeah, well, I'm still feeling like they're winning every single lane, so I don't feel like they necessarily need to make any adjustments quite yet.
It's true.
But
Mid though, Kraken,
He's fine.
kinda low.
He's low, but he's fine, because he's Kraken. You can't kill Kraken. And they are still trying to push this tower, but they're not really doing a great job of it. A bit of an early dance floor earlier from Rhapsody, and and hopefully, there we go, a little bit better timing this time. NG really trying to stop this push, but it's not going to be all that effective. Kegstown going to continue to hit these Ophelia creeps, which are pretty low, so I would imagine this tower is going to die, but it's not the cleanest kill in the world. I know Minion is going to die as well, so Ophelia has no creeps anymore.
Bottom though, bottom.
Yeah.
Never mind, this is fine.
No, Magnus is coming in. He's gonna get a kill.
Yeah, he's going to haste rune, Kinesis, Stasis Smash? No. Real dead. It was on cooldown anyway.
Well, good rotation from the Magnus,
Yeah.
but lucky rune. Honestly, that was all down to a lucky rune.
Yeah. That's what'll happen sometimes, but oh, I forgot to switch this too. Ogre, slight disadvantage in gold. It's quite even, in fact, and the experience is very even as well. So 7 minutes in, no real leader quite yet, and Nox has 47 CS, which I feel like is low. Is that perfect CS? Because I don't know.
Well, he
Close
has
to
more
at
than
least.
Soul Stealer.
I know, that's the thing. He has more than Soul Stealer, but only 3 more. And Soul Stealer's been
Okay.
pressured, so...
Well calculated for a sec, so 7 times 2 per minute, so times 7, that's 14 waves of creeps, 4 creeps per wave. 40, that's 56.
Right, plus cannons.
And the 7th wave was just coming in, so
2
that's
cannons.
only 52. So he missed, I guess... Now he's missed 3 creep kills,
Yeah, something
looks like.
that. Well, he also did get a kill, so not that big a deal. 475 gold per minute, especially with the tower kill. Very, very nice. So Nox going to be off to a really strong start here. He's already got 2,300 gold saved up, and do you just go straight Shroud here?
I really like it. Because Puppet Master can't carry as hard as a Soul Stealer, I feel.
That's true.
I would have liked the Ring of the Teacher on him if they're gonna continue this push though.
Oh, should have it, but she has no items. She literally has just a Rev Ward. That's pretty
Let's
impressive.
look at the wards though. I think Rhapsody is saving up some gold right now because you see the Ward of Sight coming out from Ophelia, and let's check mid. That's Gluckmuck. Never mind. Ah, wow, he has the Mana Ring. Actually.
Yeah.
I would really like to see the rotation from Tundra to the top lane now and just take the experience instead of like Engineer, because he's been there all the time, or like for the last 3 minutes or something, and he's just been left or leaving Magnus for solo against the Kraken in mid lane.
And they're gonna lock on this Tempest to kill him real easy with that Tempest burst. Still haven't used mass control. Looks like Rhapsody's gonna be falling for that, so ends up being a 1-for-1 in favor of the Hellborn side as they take the opposing team's jungler for their own support. Magnus can be in some trouble in middle lane, but he will just be able to walk away. I feel like Ophelia should have more than she's got. She has 236 GPM, which isn't bad, and just throwing a sorcery, no boots, no other stuff. She's
Yeah, I
got
almost felt like
700
they
gold.
pushed a little bit too early, the first tower that is, because during all that time, it took quite some time. I mean, the support was doing a really good job at Engineer, or as Engineer as well, to counter push that lane, so it took several minutes, and during that time, I mean, the only one farming is the Puppet Master.
Right.
Wouldn't have mind her getting at least level 5 before they started pushing, but okay, mid lane.
I think she was 5. I think they might have wanted to have her 7. So she had 3 creeps. She must have been 5 because she had 2 creeps. I think it would have been good if she was 7, yeah.
As you say that though, Kraken has got 340 GPM because of that Engineer being top. So what you said about Tundra being top instead of the Engineer, that should have happened, because then Kraken would not have, you know, been able to get his GPM up as far as he did. So he's actually going to have a relatively early PK for being against a dual lane, if he does choose to rush that.
We were talking about it earlier. I mean, this Hellborn side doesn't have the greatest initiation. Kinesis can sort of do it, but he'd need a portal key too. It's really going to be Kraken in this PK. Speaking of Engineer, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Gets the Puppet Show and the Voodoo Puppet on him. Going to be a pretty easy kill. Looks like they will continue to pressure this tower. Ophelia's sort of forced to use her ultimate because this tower really wants to kill her, but they should be able to take the tower out really no problem. And I think the last kill.
He let his
destroyed a Legion tower.
He let his Minotaur die, and he hasn't really had good creep, so
no.
That's also interesting. And Staff is Bunny General, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That has not
I
been
needed to
changed.
know that for...
It's hard because Ogre changes their roster like every cycle, so it's confusing. Like, Nox was new last cycle, Masera is new this cycle. Rocky Balboa was their suicide player for like one cycle. But Mighty Marcus is Demstrats, and Staff is
Yeah.
General, so. Those two players haven't changed since CIC. And Cluckmuck obviously is the same as well.
Yeah, Cluckmuck has been leading this band of merry ogres for quite a while.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna call them.
But, yeah, Kraken, going to be relatively close to his portal key now. He's got 1700 gold saved up, so that should be along in just a couple of minutes, and that's going to provide a lot of potential for this team as well. Because, you know, Puppet. Puppet did go straight Shroud. He said, screw the Whispering Helm, I'm going to Shroud. Now we're going to have Kraken PK in a couple of minutes, and with some aggressive warding by Rhapsody, this Soul Stealer is going to be in some
Yeah, he
trouble.
went for PK first item, by the way, which is surprising. I don't know about that one.
I would have gotten Nullstone.
I wouldn't gotten something.
Yeah, I mean, like,
the portal key, like Energizer or something maybe. I don't know. I just don't feel like you're dependent on that portal key this early.
I mean, if
To be honest, like, I feel that he also could have gone for a Shroud, and kind of they would go push a lane now without Soul Stealer showing his Shroud, and then because, you know, the Hellborn has no rev wards generally where they're pushing, it would be quite an easy ulti to set up. With a PK, he can still get cancelled. Whereas, you know, Shroud and then ulti, no one sees it coming. And then you can one-shot their Puppet, or you can one-shot their Rhapsody or Kinesis, Ophelia, just everything dies.
Right.
And it would also give him more, like, catch potential. I mean, I know that Shroud is more often seen as a Team M item, but it's also like Genjuro is an incredible item on Soul Stealer, and you can turn it into that later on.
And
so, yeah.
He will get cancelled too. I mean, we have a lot of stuns and lockdown on the Hellborn side, so if he tries to PK in an ult, unless the entire team is locked down by something, he's not going to get an ult off, because they've got every single hero as a way to stop him.
Tundra in the background. He's gonna try to do something.
Unless
Or
it's hot.
Rhapsody. What?
Do they know? Do they know he's there? Do they not know he's there?
No,
It
I don't
seems
think they
like-
knew.
I don't think they know he's there, but they're acting like they kind of do.
I want him to spawn his bird so that they just know and then find him. That would be great.
Chat with a good point.
But-
Firebrand will work too on the Soul Stealer, I think. That'd be fine. I mean, at least increase his farming potential and give him some more damage. 'cause-
Tundra. Courier. I think Courier spotted him. I'm pretty sure. Courier
yeah,
spotted
let's
him.
bring it back. Yep, they got him. They got him. Oh, Tundra. That's not good. Already.
I mean, what was he doing
not
there, to be
leveling.
honest?
I think they were trying to set something up, but
He had an Invis rune, and then when it ran out, he was kind of in a bad position, and he just couldn't get out, more or less. But yeah, he shouldn't have been there in the first
The
place.
courier
I
is
feel.
still there.
yeah.
From Hellborn.
Maybe
Tempest
Actually,
were
bottom.
worried.
Yep. Sorry, I missed that completely. Soulburst goes through as well, and actually, okay. Looks like
doesn't matter.
Haxorn not quite tanky enough because he's got about. Did he finish that on non-strength steam boots? Yeah, he did. Which meant he had 872 health. Anyway, middle lane, Ophelia gonna get caught a little bit, and he's gonna drop the energy field and the keg stun. Oph's gonna die pretty easily. Tundra ultimate onto Rhapsody as well, and she's gonna fall. They do get the tower kill, but that's not really worth it if they're gonna give up 2 hero kills. 1 hero kill for a tower is probably alright, but 2, less great. Magma
well played by
speaking,
BMG.
so
But very greedy though from Ogre. Like,
yeah.
Definitely. I mean, Puppet Master ported to bottom to try and help the guys who didn't need any help. And it's one of those situations. Oh,
Demstrats with the deny, and he totally whiffs the charge. Is he gonna be able to get the release of Kraken out? No, he's not, because it's still on cooldown.
Destroyed a
And
Legion tower.
they're just gonna run away on the BMG side. Looks like they will be just fine. Meantime, Nox does finish off the bottom tower, so that means 3 tier 1 towers in favor of Trek is Love, and they've only lost the tier 1 mid. But
that's also a reason why Shroud is good on Puppet Master. You can push lanes really quickly, and then if you do see like the slightest sign of trouble, you can invis away, and they have a lower chance of catching you than if you go for the Whispering Helm build first, where you go stack Ancients. I mean, it takes a while to get going when you get Whispering Helm, but with a Shroud you can also choose to even go the ganking route and one-shot this Soul Stealer, who only has 1.1k health.
Right. I mean, at this point, Puppet, Kraken, and Kinesis can all solo kill the Soul Stealer.
Yeah.
That's
very
bad. Like, that's real bad.
And it comes back to that PK.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, he could have had a no stone right now, and then Puppet Master would have to use his Puppeteer's hold first, and then ulti, and then W, and that just takes so much longer.
I was thinking too. Because the other thing is, coming out of Shroud, often you can, if the first thing that you do is auto attack, and then you try to cancel a no stone, or even if you just drop the CC tool
Top
out
lane,
of Shroud.
by the way.
Yeah, and no, bottom. Is the one where they
no, top as well.
Top as well. I was looking at that. I was like, then somebody dies bot. Anyway, looks like Magnus isn't taking the big Puppet, and he will fall. So, KG.
But that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
About Puppet Master ganking. He can do that endlessly.
And he can do it to Soul Stealer too, because there's, I don't know. I just feel like Soul Stealer PK is a second or third item. It's never really a first item. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's only a first item on initiators, and Soul Stealer is not an initiator.
I can't imagine how good your farm would have to be for an early PK. Like, if it's a 15-minute concede game and you're just stomping so hard that you get a PK by like 8 minutes and you only want it to chase people because you already have 8 kills or something, then alright, fine, but you've won the game anyway, so who cares?
But then on Soul Stealer PK, it seems kind of like, I know it's nice to use the PK to set up the ulti, but like in one of those games where your carry is wrecking that hard, like just getting like a scout with a PK if he's carrying, or a Puppet Master with PK would also be great. But yeah, fight going on at Kongor.
And we'll actually get the ultimate from Tundra onto the Ophelia. Let's see if they have enough damage to finish it off. Ophelia. Actually, Eruption coming up through on Magnus. She will have a bunch of damage, but nobody dying right there. Kraken ultimate getting dropped. Still nobody dead. Finally, Tundra goes down, and they return that onto the Kraken. They will also manage to pick off Ophelia, who did get her ultimate off, but they will kill Tankifet as well in the Tempest. They're going to try to take down Haxter and Soul Stealer. Should be able to get him one more auto attack. Nox still well alive in this fight. Going on an engineer now, and we'll see if they actually have enough lockdown to kill him. Puppet's out of mana, but the auto attack is good. He's blocking Kinesis though, has to get his friend out of there, otherwise that'll be really bad. And Magma's going to try to run away. Looks like there isn't enough mana on either Puppet or Kinesis to be able to chase, but solid fight from Ogre. They take 4 hero kills. They keep alive only the Magnus, and they keep Nox on the Hellborn side up, which means that things are getting worse for BMG at this point. 380 gold per minute on Soul Stealer compared to 560 on Puppet Master. Yeah, I mean, Soul Stealer will outcarry Puppet if they're even, but if there's 200 GPM between them, then I'm not so optimistic.
Yeah, and in the chat they're saying, well, Soul Stealer can just go for a Shrunken, right?
Right.
And then PK Shrunken and ulti on top of a Puppet Master. But at this point, Puppet Master has 5.1k gold.
Yep.
What is he gonna get with that? He's gonna get, for sure, a Shrunken.
Yeah.
I feel a Whispering Shrunken. That seems to be the standard thing to go. And
yeah, support got wrecked.
Probably caught that.
I did.
Because you're
I was
awesome.
just sitting there watching it the entire time, going, "Boy, that engineer's not gonna live for very long now, is he?" And then, boom. But yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Like, I mean, you're right. That he should have a Shrunken Head in this game, and he should have one relatively early. Actually, no, excellent PK away from Magnus, or Kraken, as Magnus tried to initiate. SS should get a Shrunken. He needs one this game. There's a lot of CC, and there's a lot of magic damage coming out from the Self-Born team. But I'd rather see a Shrunken first item, honestly, than a Portal Key. Like, at the very least, it's got solid build-up. It's got the Mighty Blade that's going to give him some more survival. I don't think it's good. I wouldn't do it. I said I'd rather do it than PK.
Okay, yeah, you'd rather, but...
I'm not saying...
I think it
no.
needs some kind of early game presence, though.
Yeah,
like,
I'm never...
I would rather see the Energizer.
I'm very rarely playing Shrunken first, but sorry.
Like, the reason for why he went Portal Key in this game, which I think, is simply because they have a Tempest in their team, and he was like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to be able to farm that much in the forest, I'm just going to go for Portal Key and be useful in team fights, and then I'm just going to take the farm in the lane, more or less. But still feel like, yeah, some other item, more damage output item, because positioning, it doesn't really matter until later on into the game. Right now, it's just all about the Rhapsody and Ophelia healing Ogre in team fights, so even if he ports like in the middle of them, he's not going to be able to kill anyone, and he's just going to be like killed in result.
Hey, He can kill Rhapsody.
He can kill
Yeah,
Rhapsody.
probably, but like, even with Ophelia heal, it's close because Soul Stealer doesn't
That's
peak
true.
until he gets level 16.
I don't know. That dance floor does a lot of damage. If they just stand there and auto attack each other on a dance floor, I mean, again, Soul Stealer has just over 1,000 health. Rhapsody
Yeah. I
has
just feel like
cicadas.
BMG should have been putting much more pressure on into the early game. Like they haven't
Yeah.
taken a single bot tower. If they had some more team-oriented items, they could have pressured a lot more. Like when Puppet Master and Ophelia was at the top, for example. I mean, that took quite some time. But meanwhile, BMG was just sitting still with that portal key on Soul Stealer.
Okay, she can get a stun on Ophelia, but no real follow-up as the minions are going to stun out the Tempest. So, Oph will lose the Vagabond, but that's going to be
Bottom.
about it. And yeah, they will also kill Engineer once again, as Nox is just like, I've got a Shroud.
He got the
Horsebill
Shrunken.
playing really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's going for Hellflower
Who got
next.
Shrunken? Oh, Puppet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
So,
okay.
and at this point too, he's really not going to take very much damage with a Shrunken head up, because Soul Stealer hits reasonably hard with the right clicks, especially, you know, for how hard carries typically hit at 20 minutes in the game. But, I mean, Magnus, nope. Tempest, nope. Engineer, nope. I guess there's
It
a
all
Tundra,
depends. It all depends on whether they get the jump on the puppet or not. Because with the
Yeah.
Magma stun, PK Mag stun, technically
Well-
Puppet Master could fall to the PK ulti from Soul Stealer, but
But they'd have to
even
coordinate
then,
it perfectly.
Ophelia heal and like they probably
Shroud.
won't get the kill. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a fair bit of health. He has 1,500 with Steam Boots on Strength, plus a Shroud, and a Token, of course. So,
The
I mean,
Legion
assuming
have
that wears
destroyed
off,
a Hellborn
I think they need
tower.
perfect initiation and
The
follow-up
Hellborn have destroyed
to
a
be able to
Legion
kill the
tower.
Puppet. But it looks like, as on Shrek, are going to push down the middle lane. They kill the tier 2 tower, and they're going to start pressuring the base, and BMG need to get back, because this is not a fight that they're going to win if they try to split push. So, they're bringing a couple of ports back, but Tempest is still not back here. We got a port back from Magnus. Nope, he's still at the top lane. And I don't know why.
I see the reason why Ogre wants to push right now, but because you know they have the token up and they want to use it. But
Oh,
Oh, Kraken? No.
never mind. Okay.
shouldn't they choose to go bottom instead? It's an easier tower to push and it just dominates
Yeah.
everything, like the entire woods of the Legion side. This might be risky if there's a good Magnus ulti.
This is really risky, I agree. They should go bottom, but I think that what I fear is the counter push. But right now they have seen 4 people in their team, so I mean they could just go 4 people bottom and just like TP back with Puppet Master top lane and just set up for Magnus or something if you were to go for the counter push.
It looks like they will
But,
TP the PM
yeah.
back. But there's gonna
Going for the
ban
base
push
is definitely too
entirely.
greedy at least.
Yeah, that's the advantage of rotating bot is you can at least take a second tier 2 tower. In fact, the last tier 2 tower. And if you want to keep pushing the base, that's fine. But
Well, they got Tundra, they got Engineer, they got Soul Stealer.
right,
Like, it's a very good counter pushers, and then if it were to come to a team fight, I mean, defensive fighters like Tempest and Magnus with very defensive ultimates, or like good counter initiation, it's just too dangerous. Oh, nice, and
yeah,
your ward
Rev
placed.
warned me right on top of Kraken, and I was waiting for that. There's a Rev ward earlier, but Kraken didn't quite go past
BKB
it.
used.
Yeah, I wonder if they will actually be able to get this kill onto Rhapsody. Looks like Soul Stealer will have a Porky back up in a couple of seconds, but they're not going to go with the Rap. And they did use the Shrunken on Soul Stealer, so that'll be down for a little while, but the token is going to expire in less than a minute, so I would suspect that Ogre without Kraken don't really want to do this anymore. And well, 27 more 100 gold saved up on Puppet, so he'll have a Hellflower soon. And Hellflower, really?
It gives him a lot of
Um,
damage, but
I would
like
prefer
why?
Sheep.
Yeah, I would have preferred a ship as well in this game, because I feel like the only way that they're actually gonna lose the team fight is if he gets picked off before like he can get a BKB off.
Or Helm, honestly. Hey, go lifesteal now. You can still get it's still a strong item on Puppet. It's gonna allow
Yeah,
him to
that's
with
one of the
Shrunken head.
reasons as well why I agree that Sheep is better, because he doesn't have that lifesteal to keep him up.
Right.
maybe just go for the
Catch Rhapsody out, and she will dodge the keg stun, but still not going to survive as the Cold Shoulder gets taken. NG Field will be taken by Ophelia, but hell, she'll just walk out of that, and it will just be the pick onto Rhapsody.
BMG making use of that bird, scouting out the Kraken and Kinesis before the fight happened, so that they knew that Ogre wouldn't have much to offer in return, so they felt relatively safe jumping there. But Hellflower, really? Like, he doesn't even have vestments.
I think he's too squishy, yeah.
Yeah.
Way too squishy, but we will see how he's been playing very gank oriented so far, so I mean if he keeps that up, sure, he can like keep picking up anyone, but like
actually,
yeah, he was thinking about it.
Yeah, top lane, they were baiting that really hard, double damage Tundra, and Magnus with the portal key sitting in the woods. Nox very close to dying, but does manage to figure stuff out. Yeah.
I would actually even say, like, he could just get the axe first, part of the Symbol of Rage, Axe of the Malphite, because he does have that shrunken up, so he just needs maximum health right now so he can survive, and then it's very easy to turn it into the symbol. I mean, he'll do slightly less damage, but I feel that they have enough damage with Kinesis and Kraken already.
And Puppet's still hitting pretty hard. I mean, 250 damage per hit, plus he's got the Voodoo
but
Puppet.
that's because the Hellflower. That's because the Hellflower.
That's true.
71 damage for him.
Yeah, I mean, he'll still hit reasonably hard, but that's true. He'll hit less hard. But yeah, they do have plenty of mid-game damage with Kinesis and Kraken especially. And
Kraken went for Bulwark though.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I'm okay with it.
I feel like he should have gone for a BKB instead. Just looking at the Legion side. Like, I guess it's good versus Soul Stealer's passive spell, like the aura effect, but I still feel like he's not going to be able to do anything unless he gets a BKB. I mean, look at the Legion lineup.
I think they want to increase their physical presence because with Kinesis, the Voodoo Puppet, and Kraken being their main sources of damage right now, they don't have too much physical lockdown, so as these Shrunken heads start to get popped up on the Legion team, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to do stuff. But speaking of that, Magnus actually going for Hellflower himself over the Shrunken, which also feels odd.
I agree with. That I agree with, because Magnus, he's really good at escaping. And honestly, all they need to do is lock down the Puppet Master. I know Hellflower doesn't technically lock him down, but at least it prevents him from using the Shrunken for 4 seconds, which is the big deal. So if Magnus ever manages to jump the Puppet Master and Hellflower him, I feel that that's going to be a dead Puppet Master.
Yeah, very possible. Well, Puppet is going for the Helm, as he's got the Hungry Spirit, so he's getting a solid item. Actually, will they jump on top of him? Oh, Rhapsody Ultimate not in range! That's real bad. And it looks like they will be able to finish off Rhapsody as well. Zibe trying to chase Cluckmuck down. He's on the hill. He's realizing pretty quickly, I'm totally screwed. And actually, somehow he's still alive. Why is he still alive? Meanwhile, off to the side, teleports away. Everybody else is going to live. Cluckmuck finally does die because I took my camera off of him, but Nox, that was real bad.
The Hellflower effect.
Yeah, Hellflower.
I think he died before that even happened, but sure. I mean, he got jumped on by Magnus with a stun and then immediate soul burst, and he was just destroyed. Like, there wasn't really a...
There was a slight delay, though.
For Hellflower. Well,
they could have used the tablet on Kinesis if he was fast enough, but yeah.
I mean, that Rhapsody got really close to saving him completely. I don't know how far out of range Rhapsody was, but it was real close to not doing any damage at all.
I really think that they can do the same thing that they did to Puppet Monster to Kraken. Like, if they kill Kraken, I think it's pretty much the same thing, because then Tempest is going to be able to hit his ultimate on pretty much everyone. Yeah. Or at least when he gets a BKB.
Well, there's still no PK finished.
Yeah, actually his farm is kind of terrible, I didn't notice that. 270 GPM, he's kind of suffering. Soul Stealer taking up most of his farm, I guess.
But I guess, I mean, it worked out. They one-shotted Nox, so...
Yeah. Well played, of course.
Invis Puppet is going to find Soul Stealer. Oh, found Tundra though. Get the Tundra, or don't get the Tundra. They managed to kill Rhapsody as Soul Stealer jumped on top of him, and now Puppet going to pop a Shrunken. We'll go man fighting against Soul Stealer, whose Shrunken head has now worn off. We'll try to Soul Burst. That's not going to happen. Kraken Ultimate onto 2. They will kill him and Zibe. So they eventually do get both of those hero kills, and they lose just the Rhapsody, which isn't that big a deal. But
why is Magnus top when all of this is happening?
Because top is fun.
You'd expect them to.
Well, they just started off. They didn't see the Puppet Monster at first. They started off with Haxorn jumping in, using BKB to kill a Rhapsody support. And I mean,
It's a little iffy.
You gotta feel at this point that Rhapsody's not alone at the bot lane.
Well,
just-
Agnes, well done. Hellflower basically equivalent to Shrunken Head. Stops the Kinesis from stunning him out of his teleport. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Were you done?
I think I was done more or less.
Okay.
The Hexaron used BKB for killing a support wasn't really necessary, I feel. Or it was greedy by him at least, especially when the tier 1 tower was so close.
And they still haven't killed it. It's 32 minutes in, they still haven't killed the tier 1 bot. Congo are going to go in favor of Shrek is Love, second token up on Nox, and that might be their cue to break base. Which they've already taken a tier 3 tower, but still no racks, and I think that they would like to take racks as soon as possible.
Tankfoot does have his PK now, but I feel that he needed a Shrunken. I mean, even if he skipped the PK, he just needs a Shrunken to be able to get his ulti off, because the tablet, the Ophelia creeps, of course, you know, a Skeleton King can always cancel the Tempest ulti, but...
And so can Kraken ultimate.
Yeah, but he just then...
They can help for him though, if they got vision on him.
Yeah. Like, there's so many more things that Shrunken stops. Like a tablet from Kinesis is the most convenient way to cancel the Tempest ulti right now.
I don't know.
I almost feel like
think
it's time for him, or he's gonna sell his Astro when he gets close enough to the BKB. Because Astro is like literally doing nothing at this point. We didn't really use it to push, and I didn't necessarily seek early team fights either.
And top lane, Dennis getting jumped out a little bit. He did miss a charge early on Magnus. He hasn't really had the greatest success with that. Tempest Portal Key I feel like is better, because realistically they shouldn't ever get off a significant Tempest ultimate even with a Shrunken Head. What they can do, well,
I'm sure about that.
With Kraken and Ophelia, they really shouldn't. I'm not saying they won't,
Yeah,
I'm just saying they shouldn't.
But Ophelia doesn't have any Skeleton Kings right now, at least, and they are easily killing all the AoE damage, like Magma's ultimate and Engineer Field, Tundra, and all that kind of stuff. And all you need is vision on Kraken. Like, you just say, like, Magma's, okay, I'm gonna jump to Kraken in every fight. He's gonna Hellflower him, and then Tempest jumps on top of Puppet Master.
Well, walks, if he were to go Shrunken first.
Oh, yeah.
But,
He needs to be too.
anyway, I feel like it's better to just use this Tempest ultimate to set up, like, a Magma's Eruption. You just, like, it's not going to go off for more than a couple of seconds at most, but it'll allow Magmas to channel, it'll group everybody on top of that, or close to it, and then we can turn that into a Soul Burst and Eruption, and do a bunch of damage.
I really don't like this from Puppet Master. He got a Genjuro.
He did, which is odd.
It's just so squishy.
Yep, he needs to survive the burst, and he can't.
I think it's
Symbol
because he had
is
the
infinitely
token,
better.
It should have been Symbol.
Yeah. Even with token, like, I honestly feel that Genjuro is a luxury item. Like, I'd go Savage Symbol before even considering the Genjuro, because I feel that Genjuro is, like, it's great on Agi heroes, but Puppet is int. Like, come on.
Just kill the racks, it's taking him so long. Nox needs to be a little more aggressive on these racks.
Magmas is blocked by Elemental, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Hellflower gonna wear off. They will kill the Soul Stealer illusions. He's still got the damage for a little while. Now it's gonna wear off. So
look at all those mines, by the way. Look at all the mines. That is
it's
quite
odd
a lot.
position though, because I don't think that they're unless they dive heavily, they're not gonna.
You should have put it to the left at the shrine at the trees.
Top left.
Yeah, top left
of the racks.
That feels like a better position, because then Kraken, whoever he jumps, like, I think 8 mines are gonna kill most people. Like 3 times 8, 2400 damage, even with vestments. That's not gonna be.
Especially against Puppet Master, who gets tableted in. Well done, Soul Burst right on top of it. They're gonna be able to Storm Spirit him up. They need the Rhapsody ultimate somewhere. They will use the token right off the bat and release the Kraken. They're gonna catch actually a number of heroes. Kraken being in trouble. Rhapsody and ultimate in the background, not gonna hit Nox though. The Tempest ultimate is not gonna be cancelled. They're gonna get 3 hero kills right off the bat. 4th as Rhapsody falls as well. Kinesis is the only one to survive that entire fight. They also killed the token, so that's technically 5 for nothing.
That was so well played. Beautiful.
Super KGE, man.
I think it was Sibbe using the tablet.
It was a tablet. It was Sibbe with the tablet.
Because he's the only one with the tablet, so it must have been him. And then just beautiful coordination between him and
KG.
and just...
Yeah, it was Sibbe. I thought I was looking at Magnus.
Still though, I feel like he just should have gotten that Storm Spirit off. Like, I mean, he should be sitting on that portal key all the time.
Yeah. don't know. I mean,
It also
BMG have
comes
a
down
lead
to the,
now.
yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn
this
tower.
feels like this shouldn't even be happening.
This shouldn't be happening at all. Like, Ogre should have
And then-
dominated that fight. I have no idea how they actually won. They played it perfect, but still, it was sloppy by Ogre.
Yeah, that's what.
Get
so,
Jiro, man.
Chat echoing
Jiro.
the same thing that I was gonna say, which would have been, just look, Puppet had a DD. Use your Shrunken, take the racks, they can't do anything about it with double damage, and then leave. It's fine. Anyway, they will kill Zive, so they're gonna get counter with these. No buybacks were used, everybody respawning in their own natural timer. And it looks like that might be it. Teleport out from Engineer, is he gonna survive? Yeah, it looks like he will. He even has the bound eye, so not gonna give that up. KGE trying to get out of here, but again, as we talked about before, Magma's very difficult to kill. Portal keys away into the woods, and he will be just fine. You have to take the tier 3 on the bottom as well, as the creeps managed to kill it, so Shrek His Love went from being substantially up in this game to being really kind of down. As they've lost 2 base
Biggest
towers.
point, I feel
and-
like it comes down to the items, like what
Yeah.
they're going for.
Yeah.
Kraken can't jump in. If he does, he's dead because he doesn't have the BKB. And Puppet Master, like, first the Hellflower, which makes him really squishy, lost on the first team fight, and then he goes for the Genjuro.
Yeah.
Like,
He doesn't
I don't
need
get
it
it.
at all. And that's the other thing. If he had the symbol of rage in that fight, he doesn't get bursted nearly as easily. And then he comes back up with the symbol and the Shrunken, and they can't kill him because all of their CC
Well-
is down.
You know, Engineer ulti was on top of where he was spawning, so he couldn't have used the Shrunken immediately. That's why I managed
Well-
to drop so fast the second time as well, because Magnus ultied.
Either
on
way,
top
I
of
think
it.
he has enough health with the symbol to survive.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
initial perplex,
But
so
in the first place, he wouldn't have gotten one-shotted by the Soul Stealer,
that's true too.
you know? If he had a symbol, so
Oh,
the entire
yes.
fight would have gone differently.
That Genjiro's just doing nothing, because it'd be one thing if they were heavily physical damage, and maybe it's like giving you armor and stuff like that too, but all this magic damage that's coming out, it's just...
I feel like
It doesn't-
Genjuro is not necessary as an item. Like, it's good because it doesn't, like, take an extra item slot when you
Right.
upgrade the Shroud, but, like, the
He's not
only
6-1.
reason that you actually get it is to be able to gank an early game and, like, go unprotected.
Well, they're gonna kill Tundra at the top, so Nox gets another pick, and he's done a very good job of managing to find ganks by himself. He's keeping some map control. He's not really relying on his team for that. The problem is, he's just not much of a presence in these team fights. And
Nope, and Magnus is doing so well. 475 GPM on a
yeah,
Magnus.
that's impressive.
But he's just he's been doing this thing where he goes into a lane, pushes it up, no one stops him. I mean, Puppet might actually, yeah, Puppet,
Yeah, that, wow. It really does do a lot of
That's a
damage.
lot of damage.
yeah, but that was at the same time, like, what was he still doing there?
I don't know.
They didn't have vision of anyone.
He was having fun.
Yeah, at least he has
As
a
you can
buyback.
see, those items are working as well. But if they go for those items, I mean, they have to play after them as well. Then they can't go taking team fights. Then they just have to focus on those pickoffs, and then they go for the team fights when Magnus is dead, for example. But yeah, BKB on Kraken now at least, so he should be able to survive more than 2 seconds. Is he gonna go for the jump on?
Yeah,
oh
they
my
are,
God,
but
it's-
again, gonna miss the charge. Demstress has had real problems with that Glacial Blast coming in, and he will pop the Shrunken Head, but actually get locked down by the Tundra ultimate, and they have a really good amount of damage for this, despite the fact that Kraken has the Shrunken, it's really not doing very much. It requires both the Ophelia and Rhapsody ultimate. Puppet hit the Shreks. He keeps not doing that.
Oh, can he
He's
just
just
jump?
gonna jump in for really no reason. But
I don't know, they're
scares him
using
a
so
little
much
bit.
item.
Tempest
No
pops the
BKB on
Shrunken
Tempest as
Head,
well.
and he will pop in with the ultimate. Yes,
my
release the Kraken on top of him. No, that's going to stop it very quickly. Tempest going to fall here, no question. Support also going to die. And the option going in the background. Looks like Kraken going to be in a lot of trouble. He will fall in the background. Magnus also going to get dusted out, actually. And he's going to be in some trouble. Still has a Shrunken out, so he's not going to get locked down. Soulburst in the background, not doing that much damage, actually. And Puppet can more or less stand his ground with the Whispering Helm. Soulstealer's going to die here. Puppet going to be able to live with that Genjuro. And support coming back in with buyback, not going to be enough. They crush Zibe as the mass control is finally used. Now support trying to get away from this. It's not going to happen. So they win a fight. No buyback. There's buyback available on Soulstealer, but they need to force it out. And Puppet's real low. He doesn't really want to do anything because KGE's back up and he doesn't want to get jumped, which is fair. But they're in second to jump KGE. They don't have vision. And
Dust
Puppet.
coming off now.
Yeah. Keg's not going to connect. Haxorn's still not buying back. They will put the Puppet show up, but Ophelia going to port Puppet back, and Zibe may take out. He Kinesis. Meanwhile, Clockmuck dies in the background. There goes Ophelia. She's trying to TP away. Not gonna happen. Keg's done. That must have been very close. But
like
they
Okay.
want to
a lot of
fight and they get
buybacks
nothing out of
used,
it.
but yeah, exactly. They don't get the racks. Like if they would have just gone 100% on the racks when like yeah, I don't know, when Magnus used his stun, they would have had it, but they're a little bit too afraid. But if they're too afraid to hit the racks, they should just go back and call it. Now they lost 3 heroes instead.
If they're too afraid to hit the racks, they shouldn't play the game. Because
I don't know about
I don't
that.
know.
You have to be careful for the buybacks. But
In my experience, if you're too afraid to hit the racks, you're not going to win very much. Because you're basically just going to lose every single game unless the opponent CCs.
well,
I mean-
still a lot of buybacks used, or 2 at least, I think.
Yeah.
From
They got
BMG
something
and-
out of it, just not nearly enough.
I mean, now Genjuro worked on Puppet Maxa to get away from the Soul Stealer in the end,
Yeah.
but I mean, with a symbol, he would
Well-
have just manned up in the first place. So
He killed the Soul Stealer just by manning up. He got away from the Tundra, but I think he probably would have gotten away from the Tundra anyway. I'm not sure if Tundra had enough damage to kill him, especially with the helm up. But
Anyways.
yeah, he does have symbol.
all the hate can disappear now, seeing as Puppet Master did finally pick up the Symbol of Rage. So that's great.
Yeah.
He has about like 700 more health now, and that's a huge deal.
Pretty much.
But I do like the wing bow on Soul Stealer, but it still feels like he's not hitting very hard. I'm not sure why. Well, he does only have
Just needs more
30
time.
souls, but
I
I
mean,
don't
he'll
know.
have about 300 damage once he gets back up to max souls. So he attacks pretty damn fast with that wing bow and the geometer's bane.
That's
This
I
is
don't know.
bananas, by the way.
Yep. This is third Kongor, and this Word of Sight gets put down after the other one was countered. It looks like the Legion side are not particularly interested in contesting this. They are finally rotating over, but it might be too late. Or it could be the perfect time. This Kongor's low, but they don't really want to drop this Cracking and
Well,
jump
use the
onto
ulti.
Tundra, and the Shrunken Heads are going off everywhere. Tundra going to fall right off the bat. There goes Rhapsody as well. Support also going to fall before he gets an energy field off. Looks like Mavis and me in some trouble. Has the Shrunken Head, but it's Tempest Ultimate not going to be cancelled. On to 3 heroes. They'll be able to kill Kraken super easy. Ophelia also going to die. Puppet Master going to drop the Voodoo Puppet, but now he's going to get locked down, and he's not going to survive this. Is he? Actually, no. Symbol of Rage is there, so he can basically just keep auto-attacking and do whatever he wants. Meantime, in the background, Kinesis will be able to finish off Haxorin, so Soul Stealer down, and Tempest will be able to teleport away. So the two of them, Kinesis and Puppet Master, enough to back off the Legion team, and they should be able to finish Kongor here. So that's going to be a token on Nox. He's going to have to be a little careful because he doesn't have a teleport
Kongor
spot
has been
anymore.
slain.
And somebody should probably take the bans.
That was pretty good by, or coordination by Ogre, by the way. They used the Kraken ultimate immediately to get a pick off onto Tundra, but the only reason for why he did that, or the reason why he could use it, is because Kinesis jumped in the background and cancelled the Tempest portal key. So, good coordination between Kinesis and Kraken, getting them one pick off before the fight even started.
I'm just slightly confused as to why Soul Stealer didn't actually use his ultimate during the Tempest Hall. I feel that he
it was weird.
could have used it.
I had the Tempest
I
all the
didn't
3
see
people.
what
It wasn't
happened, if he
canceled.
had Big B up or something, but
There were 3
Like,
people
no
inside
one was
Tempest Soul
cancelling anything.
that didn't get cancelled, and there should have been a Soul Burst on top of that. Like, that's a
Like,
6-second hole.
yeah, well, 6-second hold.
Is it
No,
4?
4 second.
I thought it was 4, 5, 6. Why am I crazy?
No. But like Soul Stealer, like the Puppet Master had the Shrunken up for the first 2 seconds of the hole, but afterwards the Shrunken was down, and had the Soul Stealer ulti been on top of that, not only would Kraken have died, Kinesis would have also been one shot, and Kinesis ended up killing Haxorin in the end.
Yeah.
So, you know, you really gotta make sure to optimize your damage, because he didn't even use the ultimate in that fight.
yeah,
just
I don't
didn't-
think he could get in position. I think it was quite sloppy, or Sibby got caught at least at right, and they weren't ready for it, so they weren't in position with the keys. But I also think that Tanka has been a little bit too hasty with all the ultimates in this game. Like, every single one. If he would have just been a little bit more patient, I mean, they could have just waited it out instead, until everyone was
Well,
ready. I mean, Magnus didn't have his pull key up either, and he had Eruption up. If they waited like 2 seconds, he would have had the key and Eruption full in the ultimate as well.
But I mean,
yeah.
auto attack move, auto attack move, auto attack move, you know? Animation cancel till you're close, and then ulti.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to bring it up because we have damage charts, but Solstier does feel like he didn't do that much damage in that fight. Felt like Tempest wasn't cancelled, should have been an easy cleanup, and he's leading damage charts, so to be fair, he was doing a fair bit of damage. On the other hand, 3 members of his team are doing no damage, so that's kind of a problem. But this doesn't look like it's going to be over anytime soon, as we've got 27 to 24 hero kills in favor of Ogre. Oh, somebody going to get caught. Kraken is going to die. I think we don't get anybody else yet. Tundra ultimate onto Kinesis. Also going to get pretty low. Storm Spirit gets popped, but he's not going to be able to survive this. There goes the Soul Burst. Hits him and Ophelia, so they get 3 free hero kills. Kinesis did not use the bananas, which makes sense because he basically just died.
But see how much damage that did, and Soul Stealer wasn't even on top of them.
Right.
That was the same distance from him to the Tempest ulti last time. So got it.
More or less.
You got to maximize, man.
I cannot believe nobody's taken Rax yet. Like this is ridiculous.
This game has turned so often at this point, and I gotta say, Zibe has been playing really well with the bird. I mean, he spotted out the Ophelia and the Kinesis with the bird. And right now, he's even scouting the Rhapsody and the Kraken without them even knowing a thing. Like, damn, I hate that fucking bird.
A good Tundra player is annoying, because I'm terrible at Tundra, but if you get a really good Tundra player in a team against you, it's just like, Jesus Christ, how do they always know where we are? Oh yeah.
It's a mobile, invisible ward with amazing vision.
Okay, so something that's a bit surprising to me is the fact that they're not going to use a token to push or to do anything about it. It's going to run out in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Maybe they're content with the fact that they have better late game, because they have.
But do they?
Do they? I'm not sure they do.
Hellborn? I think Legion do.
I'm not sure that Hellborn have better.
Restoration
oh,
stone.
wait. I thought Soul Stealer had the token. Sorry.
I was gonna say like
me.
Kraken's good, but Ophelia's not great, and Kinesis is gonna be useless because of all the shrunken heads. Already is kind of useless.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, guys, God.
Damn it, Shortcan.
Right now they don't have a single map on the war or on the map fighter Ogre. Okay, actually they got one, but it's running out in 30 seconds, so they need to get map control.
Yeah.
Look at support's mines, by the way. There's 9 of them.
Where?
In that small spot.
Where?
I don't
know. In next to mid. In the Legion
what?
temple.
That's an odd one. But if they run past that narrow passage below, do they attach or do they go over the hill?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they do. If they run like in the trees, they're trying to hide the mines go down.
I don't think they go over
and it's
the
nice
hill,
for vision.
but they go.
It's literally
down.
like a ward that they can't easily counter right now. But you know, if they, it's also a very common counter ward spot. So maybe they'll just get countered.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's cute at least. That's a really cool, cute spot to place mines.
Yeah, it's great.
Shortcan Twitch chat is convinced that you're smoking something.
I know.
It's okay. I got yelled at earlier for a 6-second hole, so now I have to say something stupid.
Oh, mid.
Yep, Magnus. That's a fake.
But it's a fake.
I was wondering. There's multiple Magnus on the map. I found it pretty unlikely that that was a real one.
Alright, so they got the bananas on Puppet Monster instead now. Maybe they're just gonna start stacking up bananas.
Do the Dr. Repulsor trick. Stack 3 bananas and then jump across the entire map.
Exactly.
And also
awesome.
have Dr. Repulsor in this game somehow.
Yeah, if you get 3 bananas stacked.
Talk, Shortcan. You were saying something.
I know you think I'm American, but
What do you mean think? Implying that you're not?
yes, I'm implying that I'm not American.
Listen to him, people. Does he sound like he's from anywhere other than America? No, he does not.
He sounds like he's from what's it called?
America.
What's it called?
It's called America.
America.
I want to see a Resto Stone on Kraken. I would actually really like to see a Resto Stone on Kraken because just give more lockdown on the Shrunken.
That is the real Magnus, and he will pop a Shrunken head. And He actually might still be in
gonna
some
get
trouble,
out,
guys. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, here comes in the Soul Burst on Soul Stealer. Don't pop the Shrunkins in time, and everybody's dying, but a nice Rhapsody ultimate. She will be killed, though. Kraken finally gonna pop the Shrunkin. Kraken's still gonna die. Lockdown from Tempest, not gonna be stopped, and now Puppet Master's gonna be in a lot of trouble. In the background, they do manage to finally kill KGE's because Kinesis is still alive. Puppet gonna be in some trouble still, and they will kill him. He used the bananas, but not nearly enough, and now Kinesis wins the focus of a whole bunch of damage, and just absolutely gets destroyed.
Who's winning this game?
Wow, look at Soul Stealer.
GG?
Look at his health. Like,
I don't
they
know.
have a buyback on 2 heroes.
Yeah, he's used it at least. He's going now as well. I don't know if that's a little bit too drastic though. I mean,
This
it's
is
just
not a
like
great
picking
idea
up.
because he's gonna get killed again. And Kinesis coming back in, but he's got the Storm Spirit. Is Puppet gonna get locked down for long enough? Doesn't look like it. Tablet away is successful. Kinesis though could still be in some trouble. Inherent Defense is giving him a lot as he's lifting up all those creeps. So they will defend this, but it requires 3 buybacks.
How are the
this is
racks
gonna delay
not dead?
I keep.
Please.
They keep winning fights, and then it's just. I don't know. Tempest has a resto on top of the Shrunken PK, so now it's gonna be real hard to stop him from getting off a full duration hole because even with the Kraken ultimate.
Yeah. And Kinesis bought back, so he doesn't have a sheep for I don't know how long, which means he's probably gonna be pretty much useless in team fights, as well as everyone else on that team. It's just Puppet Monster from now on.
Kraken's doing
Kraken
some good
ultimate, I
stuff,
guess.
and Rhapsody can, if she manages to get some pretty solid positioning, she can do some stuff. But, she's having issues as well.
Yeah. They kind of need the damage coming out from Kinesis spells and ultimates though. And with that sheep they could have gotten it out, but now when everyone has BKB he's not going to be able to deal anything.
Okay, no
It was
joke.
also kind of strange that he ultied everything, like he used everything on Magnus, when Soul Stealer would have died had he decided to use it on the, the rest of the enemy team who was kind of close together trying to bring down that Puppet Master.
Yeah. Counter
I don't know.
Genjiro. So Stu's got a Genjiro too. And says, screw it, I like invisibility. Honestly, I think Ophelia should buy wards and Rhapsody should get a Porky. Like,
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I thought of that as well.
that
really
would be
good point.
really
I
important.
think so
But
too.
instead, they're going to try to jump Zibe, and they probably will kill him. Maybe they won't. Actually, Resto Zone. Tempest comes in. 1 ult, 2 ults. They can't stop it. Ultimate from Rhapsody. Too far out of range. Everybody's dead. And Zibe, the only one to fall off the Legion side. So we'll see if they can actually get out of this. Kinesis looks like he will be fine. Ophelia, again, just does very little in these fights.
Yeah, it's tough. But like you said, I mean, Ophelia should just buy the wards.
Yep.
Would have been so much better to have a
She's-
pull kill on Rhapsody.
She's doing nothing right now.
I mean, Rhapsody's still gonna die in like no time at all, but
Yeah.
at least they'd have some, that Magnus ulti would have done like half damage, and maybe Puppet would have survived for long enough to get a symbol off and Shrunken, but it's so iffy. Like, in this situation, I feel that the best thing to do is just to go for late game items, and if Ophelia manages to actually save up enough gold for a sheep stick, that would be great. But right now, he's just dying too much. Like, they need lockdown for the Soul Stealer,
Right.
for the Tempest, and everything. Just get sheep sticks, man. Sheep stick would even be better on Puppet, to be honest. Like, at this point, Hellflower doesn't do that much except give him physical damage.
The problem is they need blinks too. So Kinesis can blink sheep, but if they try to just walk up with the sheep sticks, it's not going to work. There's a Shrunken head on 3 heroes in the leading team.
Oh. Storm Spirits can only do so much, I feel.
No, I mean, like, I agree they should get sheeps, but they need blinks too. So if they want to get a sheep on Kraken, that's fine. Getting a sheep on Kinesis, that's fine. I'm not sure Ophelia is going to do very much with a sheep stick.
Okay, 4th Kongor.
Yep.
Like, they keep getting Kong, but
Yeah. This doesn't seem to be mattering.
Legion is not gonna get it, or
Who are
gonna
they
be
going to
able
put
to
the
spot it
token
in
of the
time.
bananas on? Like, why does this even matter? Puppet can't
Oh
really
my god,
hold
this
the
is gonna be so
token.
close. Okay, they're gonna get
is
it.
he gonna drop the Slayer and let the
Yeah,
courier
he's
pick it up?
He's gotta do that. He's gonna drop a Slayer.
He can just have it laying there, I guess.
Kongor has
Oh, he
been
took that.
slain.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. Alright, there we go. Token. And Kraken gets bananas, not a huge surprise. But Kraken, is he really gonna be able to make that much use of bananas? Probably not.
I think
gave
they
it to
should give
Kinesis.
bananas to Kinesis.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, cool. I'm not high.
Look at the positioning from BMG though. They want to bait those mines.
Yeah. And engineer singing.
I
This
think
is
support
sneaky,
has
this
done
is
so much
sneaky.
hard work for very little.
Rhapsody, Rhapsody.
Up,
Rhapsody
up.
with the Slayer.
If they jump, if they jump, if they jump.
The courier though, the courier is spotting them out
Yeah,
from the
that's an
Hellborn. That's
invis.
really lucky.
Invis Soul Stealer, so. Oh, 2-man lava surge there from KGE. Rhapsody ult in the background, gonna not do that much. Tempest ultimate not gonna be cancelled. Hits on 4. There's a Soul Burst, and second Tempest ultimate is not gonna go through actually. Doesn't matter. Everybody in the Hellborn team is dead. Token brings Puppet back up, but it really doesn't matter. Now are they gonna kill Max, do you think?
Massacre.
Yeah,
I don't know.
think
They
this-
might just let it survive for another 20 minutes, just for fun. Just for
This
shits
must
and
be game.
giggles.
Yeah, this game.
Yeah, they're calling GG's. I can't imagine that's not game.
Defeat.
Alright, well, nobody killed any racks, ever. And I don't understand how that happens, but BMG gonna take a victory, and in many
Damn.
ways a well-deserved one, in other ways not so much, but
Even with that start, where they had a Chandra with Bird going woods in level 1, they managed to come back. Yeah, that's surprising.
yeah. Well, want to give final thoughts there, Shortcan? So now we can't talk.
Well, well, I mean, really well played by, you know, BMG to make sure to exploit all the mistakes that Ogre was making, like that Puppet Master just standing uphill, where they turned it for the first time, where he just got wrecked by the Soul Stealer ulti with the Magnus Sun. That was all they did,
Right.
and Puppet was down. And then it was insane. It's like, wait, what? They managed to turn a team fight because Puppet just got one-shotted by a Soul Stealer. It's crazy. So from then on out, I feel like it was a very even game. And then BMG just managed to set up their plays way better than Hellborn side. Also, like Snooey said this earlier, questionable item picks. So yeah, well played to both teams, but BMG just managed to execute their strategy a lot better than the Hellborn side.
Yeah. Well, what are you thinking there, Zowie? Last thing to say, and apparently I'm saying your name wrong, but I don't really care.
It doesn't matter. No, I'm surprised that BMG actually managed to came back from that. I feel like Ogre should have had that one, but some very weird item choices, and well, in the end also lack of vision. Grouping up as 5 people in that cluster little forest spot without any vision whatsoever, and you're up against a Tundra. It feels very, very risky, and in the end BMG just had more experience in those kind of situations.
I do think a lot of this comes down to BMG knowing how to close a game out, and Shrek is love.
Yeah, I think it comes
Mostly
down
knowing
to,
how to close a
experience.
game out, but they're just not quite as experienced, or not quite as good as BMG. That being
I mean,
said,
Ogre played better.
Right, that
Ogre
being
played
said-
better, but yeah.
BMG are the reigning cycle champions. Let's keep that in mind. Ogre finished second in Gold Division last cycle, and it just took 56 minutes for BMG to barely pull out a win against Drek is Love. So there's a lot of stuff that we're like, yeah, okay, Ogre made this mistake and this mistake and this mistake, but they did a lot of stuff really, really well. I mean, Nox had a fantastic game. He did extremely well with that with the Shroud early on. He made fantastic use of it. Kinesis actually did pretty well, 10, 5, and 7. Kraken had a really good start despite the fact that he was dual laned, and he made a lot of work. I mean, this is not what's supposed to happen. Like, going into this, BMG has not lost a single game in the round of 8 in all of HoN Tour, and they're coming off their highest high of the season so far, and they didn't really look like they necessarily 100% deserved the win against Shrek is Love. So yeah, they won the game, and all credit to them. They took pretty much all the opportunities that they were given, but I mean, I think Shrek deserves some pretty serious props for how long it took BMG to win that game, and how badly it looked for them for a lot of it. So, well, that's me done talking, at least for now. It's probably not going to be lasting a while. So, game 1 in the books, BMG up 1-0, and we will move on to game 2 in just a moment.